Next to my coach,
Hi, Jason.
a lot of coaches talk about wanting to recruit close to home, and you've got some key guys within about an hour radius of Kalamazoo. How important have the West Michigan guys been to your program?
Incredibly critical to our success. They really are. The one thing when we first took the job is that I learned this from Joe Novak. If you take a Midwest job, especially in the Mid-American Conference, PJ, do everything you can to keep the recruiting at home. We built a 6-hour radius right around Kalamazoo, and we're talking the states of Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan. We wanted to be really heavy in. We wanted to surround ourselves with that. Now, if you're going to do that, you got to be able to beat some Big Ten teams in recruiting, because eventually they come late and they poach a lot of your kids really late, offer them late. But we've been very fortunate. We've had about 80% of our recruiting done prior to the summer camps or in the middle or towards the end of summer camp. And that's really been with our 6-hour radius. From there, we've stemmed outside. We've gone out to New Jersey, the Floridas, and we've kind of gone to different places that we've actually had a lot of familiarity with. But the Southwest Michigan kids have been absolutely critical. Michigan kids in general have been absolutely critical. I think some of the best high school footballs played in the state of Michigan. They're very well coached, very well developed by our high school coaches throughout our state. And when you start to look at our roster, when we first got there, about 80% of our team was probably outside the state. And now it's 80% are probably inside the state. So we're very proud of our Michigan roots, and we'll continue to recruit that way.
We have a question on the front and middle.
Hi, Coach. Cory Olson from MLive.com and the Kalamazoo Gazette. Just wondering, if you think back to the movie Hoosiers and Gene Hackman, did you guys do anything when you came into AT&T to get the kids, used to that kind of thing? We talked to some players earlier this week, and they said, really the first practice in here was just trying to get used to looking up for the ball and seeing the screen and all those types of things. Do anything to get them acclimated early on?
Yeah, I don't know if we would use the movie Hoosiers, to be honest with you. If you've got to teach lifetime lessons in a cultural way here, with these kids in 16. I'm not sure if many of them know the movie Hoosiers if we did show it to them.
Team movie night.
That's amazing, right? But I would say the first thing we actually did was, when we first came here, it didn't have anything to do with practice. We came to watch Monday Night Football with the Cowboys and Lions. We brought him here specifically for that reason. They thought we were doing that for some fun. Right? There's always a little bit of coaching behind everything we do, right? There's always a life lesson. So we wanted to get that aha moment and that awe moment out right away, right when we got here, the day we got here. And to be able to see AT&T Stadium in Jerry's World empty versus full, I think there's two different things. And that's what we wanted them to see right away, to see the full stadium, what the game day environment's going to be come January 2nd. And I think we knocked that out of the park in day one. And then when they were on the field, then it was just some on-the-field adjustments with the screen. But you can't even really see the screen that much from when you're actually playing. It's when you're on the sidelines and maybe when you're backed up catching punts at the 10-yard line, you'll be able to see the screen and the ball flying through the air plus the ball. But we've done everything we can to be able to simulate those types of catches throughout the week.
Got a question on the aisle towards the rear, and then we'll come back up here to the front. Just a moment.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Marvin Chambers, 4.0 Sports Media. Can you tell me something about Cory, the development, a kid from New Jersey, landed on your campus from the freshman year to now as a senior?
Are you talking about Cory Davis?
Yes.
Yeah, he's from the Chicagoland area. And what I'll say about what Cory was, I think he came like a lot of these guys. They have failed so much that they've succeeded. And we embrace our failing here. We call failing growth. If you show me a person that's really successful, I'm going to show you somebody who failed a lot. And we take pride in that. We don't run from that. I think these players are very proud of their 1-11 season, to be honest with you, which might sound a little funny, but to them, they understood exactly where they are and what got them there. And Cory is no different. I think the development of Cory as a person inspires me more as a player. I think Matt Simon and Luke Getsy, who's now the wide receiver coach for the Packers, they both have done a tremendous job in developing him as a player. But Cory's one of those guys that's not, I can't say just easy to coach, but he's one of the easier ones because his work ethic's so high. He reminds me of Vincent Jackson when I coached with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You give it to him once, he might not be able to get it the first time, but he's going to stay 45, 50 minutes after practice to make sure by the next time he sees you, he has it. And that's a credit to him. And he hasn't always had that. When he got here as a freshman, he had to learn how to become a professional. Remember, Cory's been the guy, the dude, the bell cow from day one in this facility when he got on campus, which is very difficult for a true freshman to do. Then he goes and he's freshman. Then he's freshman player of the year for the conference his first year on a 1-11 football team. So it's very inspiring to watch his progress because he's always had to be the guy. And when you're the guy from your freshman year on, sometimes you get that attention early. You don't appreciate what you have as you continue to move, or you start to think that you have a right to something. Cory's never done that, and that's a credit to his upbringing, his foster family, and all the things he's been through in his life.
We got a question in the aisle on the left side.
Steve Helwick, SB Nation.
Hi, Steve.
This is the final game in college careers for Zach Terrell, Cory Davis, Taylor Moton, a lot of crucial players from that 2013 1-11 season. Is there any emotion in knowing this will be the final time you'll coach them in Broncos uniforms?
I'd be lying to you if I said no. Absolutely. It'll be very emotional. It really will be. As a coach, when you have such a personal relationship with your players, you do everything you can not to think about it, to be honest with you, until it's finally over, then you let the emotion go. But anytime you start thinking about losing those players selfishly, you're going to miss them, right? So then you feel the absence of them, and you start to really get emotional. However, when you start to think about the legacy that they have left, it inspires you, because what they've done is they've put a foundation, a standard, and an expectation, and put Western Michigan now on a map that this isn't just a one-and-done type deal. We've recruited at an extremely high level, and the people that are now coming through the program have been able to watch Cory Davis, Zach Terrell, Taylor Moton, and be able to learn from these guys. That now this is an expectation and what we really demand of ourselves every single year when we start the season, that a New Year's Six Bowl's out there, and that's the expectation now. And that's what I think they did at Boise, and that's what I think they've done at Houston, and we want to be the same type of place.
This will be the final question for Coach.
Wow, that's great.
We've I'm not going to ask too, Coach. We've talked a lot about Cory, but part of, obviously, a lot of your success has been based on the fact that you've been very balanced. And, with Jamari and Jarvion and Carrington and Michael Henry. Can you talk about, Cory's had a great deal of success and put up some incredible numbers, but I think a lot of his success has been due to the fact that so many of those other players have drawn a lot of attention. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, first and foremost, we have a lot of star players, I will say that. And nobody's going to ever apologize for having great players, especially individual players. But nobody could have the accolades that they have, or the yards they have, or the attention they have without everybody else. Our defense has played better than it's played in the last 4 years. When we talk about defense winning championships, our defense had 2 shutouts. Well, the last time we had a shutout, Al, was years and years and a decade ago or something at Western Michigan, let alone have 2 in a season. So you talk about all the individual performances, but our defense really put us in position to be successful on offense. You look at guys like Michael Henry and Carrington Thompson. Both of those guys have come the farthest, I would say, in terms of their development from freshman year to senior year. Michael Henry even had a 3 to 4 month hiatus, all right, from our football team. He had to leave the football program. It was the best for him. We were able to get him some help, and now he comes back and catches 60-some balls for us. In the absence of Daniel Braverman, when he caught 108 balls, and everybody's like, how are you going to replace him? Well, you're going to replace him with what everybody thinks is 2 immature players who became some of our most mature players. The culture will make you grow up really fast. And if you believe in the culture and you trust the culture, it'll develop you from a boy to a man. And I think that's what you've seen with our entire football team. We are more mature now than we've ever been in the last 4 years that I've been there. I know that. And maturity is when doing what you have to do becomes doing what you want to do. These players love coming to our facility. They can't wait to get there. Even though they have to do it, they can't wait to do it. And they all can't wait to do it together. And I think that's a credit to our coaching staff, a credit to our players, and really a credit to the culture at Western Michigan University in general. Can I make one statement?
Absolutely,
if you don't mind?
Coach, absolutely.
I do want to make one statement because it's out there and my face is all over the place on it, and I'm not really sure why. I do want to make one statement, though, referencing a statement that was made in the Mid-American Conference by one of the athletic directors about our Group of 5. I do want to say this. I absolutely love the way the Group of 5 and the Power 5 coincide and mix. Just because one AD makes a statement like that doesn't mean that the whole conference feels that way, because I don't feel that way at all. And one person speaking for the Group of 5 or the Mid-American Conference is not how we feel whatsoever. I think the way it is perfect. If you're in the Group of 5, if you can go undefeated 2 years in a row, you deserve to be in a national championship, and you'll find your way into the national championship. Everybody was talking about Houston this year. Group of 5 team goes 13-1 last year, beats Florida State. They beat a top 5 team to start the year. If they would have continued that and went 13-0 or 13-1, I guarantee they'd be in one of those top 4 spots. The great thing we talk to recruits about, and we talk to our players all the time at Western Michigan, yes, at Western Michigan, is you have the ability now with the playoff system to win and go to a national title. Is it harder in the group of 5? You bet. It's a lot harder. But you know what? There's a chance for it to happen. In the old BCS system, we didn't even have a chance. So I am not, just so everybody understands, Western Michigan, and I am not, I don't speak for everybody else, but I know us, are not in favor of this group of 5 national championship. I think that's ridiculous. I love the way where we're at. I love the position we're in. And if we are going to feel that way about winning a national title one day, then we are in control of that. We're going to have to schedule non-conference opponents that are going to be ranked in the top 20 and play top 20 opponents. That's what we did last year with Ohio State, Michigan State. Because if we did happen to beat those 2 teams, a 1-4 team, then we deserve to be in the talk if we can run the table. I think that's very fair. But if they want a group of 5 team to play in the national title, it can happen, it should happen, but it's got to be set up the right way. If you don't play Power 5 teams and you don't play top 25 teams and you win out, you shouldn't be in the national title conversation, including us. But if we do it again next year, or you do it twice in a row as a group of 5 team, I think you deserve to be in the national title race. That's all I'll say about that. Just want to make that very clear because my face gets attached to somebody else's quotes from a different school within our league that I completely disagree with. So I just want to at least make my comment about that situation in case you were waiting to ask me that tomorrow. You at least have a statement on that now.